Hello there, I'm back, and sooner rather than later. A couple cool things happened that I really wanted to talk about, so let's dive right in. Hello and welcome to the Hackers Report. First off, we have Kaspersky versus Microsoft. Now, Kaspersky has accused Microsoft of unfairly disabling its antivirus in Windows 10. Kaspersky filed a lawsuit against Microsoft for abusing its dominant position in the desktop market by pushing Microsoft's own Windows Defender in the antivirus market or in the desktop market rather than allowing Kaspersky to also have a little bit of competition. Now, Kaspersky has claimed that Microsoft has disabled its antivirus in Windows 10 when users upgrade to it. Now, if you ask me, I'm with Kaspersky on this. Even though I'm not a fan of Kaspersky as an antivirus, I'm all for them in being able to ensure that Microsoft is not acting as a monopoly in this situation, which is what it kind of seems like they are acting as. Me personally, I like to use ESET as my antivirus because they have been number one in detecting in the wild viruses or viruses that are on websites before they actually attack your computer. And they've been number one at that for a couple years in a row now. Now, that doesn't mean that they're the best at detecting viruses that are on your computer, but they are the best at preventing them from getting there. Next, we have hard-coded passwords found on FOSCAM IP cameras. Now, you know what? I don't really have anything to say to that other than just come on. I mean, why would you ever put a hard-coded password on something that is exposed to the internet? That's just stupid. I mean, just come on. It's not that hard to not put it in there because you actually have to put the password in there. The only thing you're doing if you hard-code a password is decreasing the security of your security system. Next, we have the first Android rooting Trojan found in the Google Play Store. Well, actually, I lied. It's not the first rooting Trojan found in the Google Play Store. It is the first rooting Trojan with code injection abilities. Now, what it does is it disguises itself as a cleaning application and then allows itself to install a malicious version of itself on your device after you install this cleaning app. Then this malicious version disables device security, which then allows it to install more malicious third-party applications on your device, as well as inject code into the system runtime libraries, which give it then root permission and keeps it persistent. Now, if you don't know what root is, essentially what it is it is the administrator above the administrator of systems. So as root, you can do whatever you want to a computer. Now, this only applies to Linux systems. On Windows, it's a little bit different, although it's the same concept. But in Linux environments or Unix-based environments, like Apple is a Unix-based environment, and on Linux, those are also Unix-based. What it is it's the ultimate administrator or the final say in what happens. So when you are the root user in a system, you can do whatever you want to that system. It's like as Uncle Ben said, with great power comes great responsibility, because you can do a lot of cool things as the root user, but you can also do a horrendous amount of damage. Next, we have the first ever data stealing malware found using Intel's AMT technology. Now, Intel's AMT technology is Intel's application management technology. It allows traffic to go directly to and directly from an application. But the problem is this does not go through the firewall. Instead, it uses what's called serial over LAN traffic. And I'll bring up a diagram. How it works is you have the application, the operating system, and the hardware. The application and the hardware can never communicate directly. It needs something to sit on, and that's the operating system in this case. Now, the application normally will communicate with a network stack, which is then protected by a firewall, and that goes to the network card and then goes out to the internet. And that's the normal network traffic, or it goes out to a modem, which then goes to the internet, or if you want to get really in depth, it goes out to a modem, or it goes out to a router, which goes out to a modem, which goes out to a switch on an exit node, and then figures out where it goes from there. Anyways, now with serial over LAN traffic, it goes through the network card to Intel's AMT, or Application Management Technology, then to the serial driver, and then to the application. So what someone can do is they can send data over that serial over LAN traffic through the serial driver, through Intel's AMT, and out the network card. Now, the thing is, this technically isn't an exploit because it's not exploiting a flaw or a vulnerability. It's simply taking advantage of a different mode or a different route to take. So now what's happening is you have data that's not going through a firewall, so it's not getting blocked, it's not getting detected. It's very difficult to stop that data unless you have a firewall that's beyond your computer. Now let's talk about protecting yourself, because I always like to touch on that when big things like this come out. In the case of the Intel's AMT vulnerability or Intel's AMT malware, you really can't protect yourself because, as far as I can see, I have not been able to find a way to completely disable Intel's AMT, which is a problem in this scenario because you have a vulnerability or a malware, not a vulnerability, I'm sorry. You have a malware that's using Intel's AMT to send your precious data out to whoever is asking for it. So until Intel figures out a way to fix this or figures out a way to route their traffic through the firewall, this is a big problem, and it's a big problem for corporate environments. Thank you for tuning to the Hackers Report. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Until next time.